What if I told you that some of the biggest hits of 1973 have almost disappeared from memory? These weren't obscure songs. They topped the Billboard charts, dominated radio stations across America, and became the soundtrack of an entire generation. Millions of people knew every word by heart. But today, many younger music fans have never even heard of them. So let's turn back the clock and rediscover 10 incredible songs that once ruled 1973 before quietly fading into history. These are the forgotten hits of 1973. Number 10, Brother Louie, Stories.
She was black as the night.
When people look back on the biggest songs of 1973, Brother Louie is often overlooked. Yet during the late summer of that year, it seemed impossible to escape. The song Race to Know won on the Billboard Hot 100, giving the New York rock band Stories the biggest hit of their career and placing them alongside some of the decade's biggest names. What made the record so memorable wasn't only its energetic guitars or powerful vocal performance. The lyrics told the story of an interracial relationship, a subject that was still considered controversial in many parts of America during the early 1970s. Without being overly political, the song reflected a society that was slowly changing, giving listeners something both exciting and thought-provoking. Despite its enormous success, Stories struggled to repeat that achievement. Within only a few years, the band had largely disappeared from the mainstream, and the song gradually faded with them. Later, the completely different version by Modern Talking became an international hit, causing many younger listeners to mistake it for the original. But for anyone who remembers the summer of 1973, the Stories recording remains the definitive version. More than 50 years later, Brother Louie still captures the sound of an America learning to embrace change, proving that great songs can preserve history as beautifully as any photograph. Number 9, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Vicki Lawrence.
We thought he'd stop at Webb's and have him a drink before he went home to her.
Few hit songs have ever told a story quite as dramatically as The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Released in 1973, it immediately captured listeners with its mysterious narrative, unexpected twists, and shocking ending. As the suspense unfolded verse by verse, audiences couldn't help but stay until the final line, making it one of the year's most unforgettable radio experiences.
What's doing, Walter said, sit down, I got some bad news, it's gonna hurt.
At a time when many chart hits focused on romance or danceable melodies, this song stood apart by telling what felt like a miniature Southern crime novel. Vicki Lawrence delivered every lyric with remarkable conviction, allowing listeners to picture every scene as if they were watching a movie unfold in their minds. The song quickly reached No. won on the Billboard Hot 100, and became one of the defining hits of 1973. Yet as storytelling songs gradually disappeared from mainstream pop radio, this remarkable recording became less familiar to younger generations.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
Today, it remains one of the finest examples of narrative songwriting ever to reach the top of the charts. Even after all these years, its final twist still surprises first-time listeners, proving that a great story never truly grows old. Number 8, Natural High, Bloodstone. Some songs don't demand your attention with loud guitars or dramatic choruses. Instead, they quietly find their way into your heart. That's exactly what Natural High accomplished in 1973. Bloodstone created a soulful ballad built on warmth, tenderness, and emotional honesty. Smooth harmonies floated over a gentle arrangement, while heartfelt vocals expressed a kind of love that felt sincere rather than extravagant. At a time when soul music was flourishing, The song became one of the year's biggest slow jams and earned heavy airplay across America. Its success reflected an era when listeners appreciated songs that allowed emotions to breathe. There was no need for elaborate production or flashy performances. The beauty of Natural High came from its simplicity. As disco exploded later in the decade and musical styles shifted toward faster, more energetic sounds, quiet soul ballads gradually disappeared from popular radio. While Bloodstone remained respected among soul fans, this beautiful recording slowly faded from mainstream memory. Yet anyone who rediscovers it today is reminded that genuine emotion never goes out of style. Natural High remains a timeless expression of love, wrapped in one of the smoothest melodies the 1970s ever produced. Number 7. Diamond Girl, Seals and Crofts. The early 1970s produced countless soft rock classics, and few captured the relaxed spirit of the era better than Diamond Girl. Released in 1973, it showcased everything fans loved about Seals and Crofts: gentle harmonies, uplifting melodies, and an easygoing style that felt perfectly suited for long summer afternoons. The song quickly became one of the duo's biggest commercial successes, reaching the top 10 and helping define the mellow sound that dominated FM radio during the decade. Unlike harder rock bands of the time, Seals and Crofts offered music that felt comforting, optimistic, and effortlessly beautiful. As the years passed, however, larger acts such as the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac came to dominate memories of 70s soft rock. Wonderful songs like Diamond Girl gradually slipped into the background, despite once receiving constant radio play. Listening today feels like opening an old family photo album. The melodies instantly transport listeners back to a quieter era, when music often favored warmth over spectacle. More than 5 decades later, Diamond Girl still shines with the same gentle charm that made audiences fall in love with it in 1973. Number 6. Shambala, Three Dog Night.
Wash away my pain with the rain in Shambala.
By 1973, Three Dog Night had already established themselves as one of America's most successful rock bands. Hit after hit had made them radio favorites, and Shambala became another unforgettable chapter in their remarkable career. Built around an uplifting melody and joyful message, the song celebrated hope, peace, and the dream of finding a better place. Its infectious chorus encouraged listeners to sing along, while its positive energy made it one of the most played songs on American radio that year.
Everyone is so kind on the road to Shambala.
The band enjoyed extraordinary success throughout the early 1970s, but changing musical trends eventually pushed many of their biggest hits out of the spotlight. As new styles emerged, younger audiences often overlooked just how influential Three Dog Night had once been. Even so, Shambala has lost none of its charm. Its optimistic spirit feels just as refreshing today as it did more than 50 years ago, reminding us that sometimes the simplest songs are the ones that stay with us the longest. Number 5. My Maria, B.W. Stevenson. Today, many people associate My Maria with Brooks and Dunn's award-winning country version from the 1990s. But long before that revival introduced the song to a new generation, it had already become a major hit for singer-songwriter B.W. Stevenson in 1973. Blending country, rock, and pop influences, Stevenson's recording perfectly reflected the growing popularity of country rock during the early 1970s. His warm voice and relaxed delivery gave the song a sincerity that made listeners feel every word.
Just my thoughts about you bring back my...
The original recording climbed into the Billboard Top 10 and became one of the year's biggest crossover successes. Yet as time passed, the later cover became so successful that it largely replaced the original in public memory.
Treat me so right, lady. Take me where you...
For those who return to Stevenson's version today, however, there's something wonderfully authentic about it. It captures a moment when country and rock were blending in exciting new ways, creating music that felt honest, heartfelt, and unmistakably American. Underscore. Number 4. Smoke on the Water. Deep Purple.
We all came out to Montreal.
There may be no guitar riff in rock history more recognizable than the opening notes of Smoke on the Water. Released during one of Deep Purple's greatest creative periods, the song became an essential part of classic rock and introduced countless young musicians to the electric guitar.
To make records with a mobile.
What many casual listeners don't realize is that the song tells a true story. Its lyrics describe the infamous fire that destroyed a casino in Montreux, Switzerland, during preparations for a recording session. Rather than inventing a fictional tale, Deep Purple transformed a real-life disaster into one of rock's most iconic songs. Ironically, while millions instantly recognize its legendary riff, far fewer know the full story behind it or have listened carefully to the complete recording. The opening guitar line has become so famous that it sometimes overshadows the remarkable song that follows. More than half a century later, Smoke on the Water remains one of rock's greatest achievements. A reminder that sometimes history, chance, and extraordinary musicianship come together to create something unforgettable. Number 3. The Cisco Kid. War.
Cisco Kid was a friend of mine.
Few bands blended musical styles as effortlessly as War. Mixing funk, soul, Latin rhythms, jazz, and rock into a sound all their own, they created music that was impossible to categorize yet instantly recognizable.
The outlaws had us pinned down at the fort.
The Cisco Kid became one of the group's biggest hits in 1973. Inspired by the legendary television hero, the song combined infectious grooves with playful storytelling and irresistible rhythms that kept listeners dancing from beginning to end. Throughout the early 1970s, War enjoyed enormous commercial success, but changing musical tastes gradually pushed much of their catalog out of mainstream rotation. While songs like Lowrider remained popular, many other outstanding recordings quietly disappeared from everyday radio playlists. Rediscovering the Cisco Kid today reveals just how innovative the band truly was. Its rich instrumentation, effortless groove, and joyful spirit still sound remarkably fresh, proving that great musicianship never loses its appeal. Number 2. Stuck in the Middle with You. Steelers Wheel.
Don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling.
Some songs manage to survive for generations, even when the artists behind them slowly fade from public memory. Stuck in the Middle with You is one of those rare recordings. Released in 1973, its catchy acoustic rhythm, witty lyrics, and unforgettable chorus helped make it an international hit.
And I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs.
The song's light-hearted folk rock sound felt completely different from the heavier rock music dominating many radio stations at the time, giving it a unique identity that audiences immediately embraced. Years later, The song experienced an extraordinary revival after being featured in a memorable film scene, introducing it to millions of listeners who had never heard Stealers Wheel before.
When you started out with nothing and you're proud that you're a self-made man.
Ironically, while the song remains instantly recognizable, the band's name is often forgotten. Yet that only makes its achievement more remarkable. More than 50 years after its release, Stuck in the Middle with You continues to prove that a truly unforgettable melody can outlive almost everything else. Number 1. Drift Away, Dobie Gray. If any song deserves to be called a love letter to music itself, it's Drift Away. Released in 1973, Dobie Gray's heartfelt performance quickly became one of the year's defining hits. Blending soul, rock, and gospel influences into a warm, uplifting sound, the song spoke directly to anyone who had ever found comfort in music during life's difficult moments. Rather than focusing on romance or heartbreak, Drift Away celebrated something even more universal: the emotional connection between a song and the person listening to it. That simple idea resonated deeply with audiences, helping the record become one of the decade's most beloved classics. Although it no longer receives the constant radio airplay it once enjoyed, its message remains as meaningful as ever.
Melody can move me.
Every generation discovers songs that become lifelong companions, and Drift Away reminds us why music has such extraordinary power to heal, inspire, and bring people together. Even today, it takes only a few familiar notes to transport listeners back to another time. And perhaps that's the greatest achievement any song can ever hope for. More than 50 years have passed since these songs first echoed through radios, record players, and living rooms across America. Some became enduring legends that still receive regular airplay. Others slowly disappeared as new musical trends and new generations reshaped the soundtrack of our lives. Yet each of these recordings tells an important part of the story of 1973. Together, they remind us that chart positions eventually fade, record sales are forgotten, and even the biggest hits can slip quietly into history. But truly great music never disappears. It waits patiently for someone to hear it again. So whether these songs brought back cherished memories or introduced you to hidden treasures for the very first time, we hope they inspire you to revisit an incredible year in music history. Because sometimes, all it takes is one familiar melody to bring an entire lifetime rushing back. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the forgotten hits of 1973. We'll see you in the next countdown.